Hello everyone. So today we are going to work on these tabs for the inventory menu, not the inventory menu, in-game menu. So here you can see quest, order, inventory, skills, all those things. So when I click on them, the game switches the tab underneath to whatever the tab that represent that. So in a similar way, I am going to implement referencing that the same thing. So like this, here we have the inventory, and if I switch to this, here I have the skills menu. I haven't implemented another menu or a map, so they are not active yet. So these are the only two things that I have right now, and you can switch them like this. And if I press I again, I am back on the game. Right, so that's what we are going to work on today. So before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done from my Patreon page. So feel free to check it out. Once you become a member, you can download anything without any limits. Also here in this playlist, Unreal Action RPG with Gameplay Ability System series, you can watch all the episodes and implement everything from scratch. So I'll leave the link to the full playlist also in the description. Right, now let's get back to today's episode. Okay, so right now this is what I have. For example, if I open my inventory menu, this is what I see. So but here I need to see on the top something like tabs that allow me to switch between different panels of the menu. So if I open the reference here you see this is a reference image from Valhalla Assassin's Creed. You see abilities, skills, inventory, word, this is map, quest. So we have different tabs and we can click on them and switch between these tabs, and that's the exact thing I also want in my game. So that's what we are going to implement. So here I have this WDG main UI, and here we have this widget switcher, and this contains panels. So in-game HUD is one panel. Maybe we should move the in-game HUD to a separate place later on, because for the in-game HUD, when we have it's like it shouldn't coexist along with these other panels, I feel like. So yeah, anyway, I'll set this one index 3 as the default one. So as a reference, we have these buttons here, and similar to this, I also need to have my buttons. So I want to create somewhat similar button like this. So for that, let's first create a new widget for the button first. WTG tab button. The reason that I call tab is because these are like tabs in same menu. Okay, so here the button, call it button, and then under this we need a text, obviously. So I'll call this tab name, and this is in the basic form. This is how it looks. So now I have created an image. Let me show you this image. So I'm going to use this as the background for the button. So that's button PG. it. Yeah, let's just first make it work for the normal style, then let's copy the same thing for the hovered and pressed, all those things as well. So this is how it looks initially, and I want it to match the color theme that we have in the menu. So yeah, here so we have something like a gold color, so I want to have a color that matches with that. So background color be something like this would be better. We can change it always, come back and change it here. Set up a way to edit the name as well. And set this text. 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 Oh, just a variable. Public, so we can change it per button. It doesn't have a default value, so let's just call it basic form. This is how it looks. So let's go here to the main WTG menu UI, and here so right now I only have this widget switcher. So we need to add a horizontal box that exists outside the widget switcher. So, but we can't do that because here we don't have a canvas panel. So let's wrap this with a canvas panel. Wrap this one with a canvas panel like this. Now we need to take the entire area for the widget switcher. So let's set the anchors like this. Okay, now we have the canvas panel as a parent. Now we can the horizontal box to the panel like this. And to the top middle. And same as here, that to middle. Size maybe 60. Okay. Position. How much? 5, 60 works better. 60. Okay. Now under this, I'll add tab button widgets. Okay. Tab name. I need just like here. So one for abilities. I don't think I would have abilities screen, but I need a skills tab, inventory tab, and a map, and pause menu options. So for now let's add 4, and this is not the way they should be distributed. So horizontal box size, let's set it size X 2000. Okay, and these elements should be centered. They don't center like this. Here we can add a spacer. the beginning. Inside here on the south side. Okay, from here it to fail. So it pushes everything to the right. And if I add another spacer down here, it that pushes from the right side. The first one pushes from the left side, so that push all the buttons into the middle. So as you can see, the font size is too much. So let's go to the tab button. Now this is why I needed a separate widget for the button without using the existing one, so that we can just modify things here and it's easier for me. Still too big. I think that's better. And now we need to set the names. First one, let's say post menu. Right? Okay. They should have more or less like the same width. So I mean desired width. So center. Yeah, the same size. Okay. Now let's open the inventory. There, it's already here, but that's fine. We can change it. This is how these tabs looks. So first, we don't really need this outline. Yeah, oh, let's get rid of that. From here, we have this outline. This transparent. We shouldn't have an outline. We still do. Okay. Now we still has this in the corners, but that's fine for now. So if I go to the inventory, this is how it appears. Well, actually here, if I render this as an image, we can get rid of that outline, like corner visibility. So now it looks okay. Okay, now the next thing is I don't need this line to appear always. I need that to appear only when I hover on it, and only when if I am already in the skills tab, the skills button should be highlighted. Okay, so for that, go here, um, copy the normal style, paste to hover, then in the normal style, with the tint, so we don't see any outline at all, just this. But if I hover, now you see the line like this. Okay, but still I do need to see one single line underneath this. So let's go here again. Central box. Let's wrap this with the vertical box. Yeah, I'll make this size to content. Now as you can see, it's pushed up. So down much. Well, actually no, they should be much. Yeah, in order to appear the line here. So let me go back here. We enable this so we can see how it appears. So this is the way it's going to appear, but this is not the way I need it. So we can adjust the height of this button. For that, we might need a size box. Yeah. And here we can add when desired height. It's 550. Yeah, no, it's a bit too much actually. But we can adjust the location of the vertical box. Right. That okay. We don't have to be perfectly matched with the reference, but somewhat should be there. It's fine. Yeah. So now we need the single line. That's actually what I was going to do. So here let's add another image. Put it underneath in the vertical box underneath this. Here in the brush of this image, I can set Y. Let's try like 2. Okay, that's fine. And the colors may be somewhat same as this. Make it a bit like this. Okay, now that's it. Now here we have the line, and when I hover over this, we can clearly see that these are buttons. Okay, and now the next step is pointing these buttons to these tabs. So here we have the inventory, and if I press scales, we should have the scales. Right now we don't have a in-game menu or a map, but that's fine. Let's just work on the scale and inventory because we already have an inventory and the skills menu. Here, let's rename these buttons. This is the menu, PTM menu. Oh, PTM. Yeah, great. Now, I make them, yeah, they are already variables. So, go to the event graph, the menu event graph. Here on initialized. So this will be called when the game starts, when the UI is actually created. It's only once. So UI is created and added to the viewport, I think. Yeah. So here now tab button inventory. Do I have any? No. Let's create a custom dispatcher here for on click. On click. Let's have the dispatcher. Create a dispatcher on button click. Then maybe as a reference, I'll pass a reference to this button itself. This is from the type WTG tab button. Here I'll call on button click. The parameter is well, we need to rename this. Let's call it clicked button. Okay. Now here bind event to on button clicked. Right. Alright, we don't need to do that because here if I now select this, we already have on button clicked event. So we can click like this, which will be automatically bound to this button. So now this is inventory button. So all I need to do is to activate the inventory. But in my HUD, I have already created functions to open skill menu and open inventory. Let me here switch to skills, switch to inventory like this. Oh, I'm gonna use this because it's not just switching the panel in the menu. There are other things that because in the inventory menu we need to show the character as well, so we need to do those things too. Therefore here get switch, and here we do need a reference to the inventory actor, which right now let's I'm just gonna do this. I'm very lazy. So if this is valid, that's it. Okay, and similarly, if I click the skill button, this event, tab button scales. Button click here. Similarly, I'll get the HUD and switch to okay. Now let's see if this works. Inventory, press skills. Now we see the skills menu. Inventory, we see the inventory menu. None of these are assigned here, so nothing happens if I click on them. So the next thing is maybe we should have a different background for the skills menu, but that's fine. We haven't finalized the skill menu yet. I just needed that to be here initially. Also we might need to highlight what is already selected. To do that, let's create a new function. I just added this and to a function so that we have a function that takes input as the click button. So now go inside here. First we need a way to highlight the button. Let's add a function. And all I want to do here change in this to 1 maybe. Yeah. So then we get to the button. Get style. Style. Get normal. Set number here. We want to change the tint. Okay. For the color also I only want to update the so on this let's get tint. This again. Big. Initially it's 0, but I'm gonna make it 1. So okay. Okay. This should highlight. Similarly, let's just see if the highlight works first. Button. So the button. The reason that I created a new function here is we need to de-highlight all other buttons as well. But let's first see. Okay, now it remains like that. If I click here, it remains. Skills I didn't use it yet. Right, great. Now for de-highlight, what's the opposite of highlight? I'm going to call it de-highlight. Oh, no. Oh, we can do this. We can add a box there. The boolean. Never. Okay. Make the default value true. And here we can select this for load based on enable. If it is true, alpha value is 1, otherwise it's 0. Now here here. The file tab. Before we highlight this, we need to get all the buttons. Tab button inventory. Tab button, tab button skills. So basically all the tab buttons, and call highlight with a post. Should work. Skills and inventory. Oh, didn't work as expected. If I go to I get here, I get menu. Nothing happens because I haven't implemented them. That's okay. Okay, now the highlighting works. Now the next thing that I need to resolve is this. Here you see this is already there, but it should be only there. It should not be there if we are in game. So okay, actually I see that. I see the back button as well. That's because here I set as the default widget 3. If I make it 0, I would see the in-game menu, but still I have this here. So by default, if I make this vertical box hidden, these will not be there, and I need to make it visible all the panels except in-game HUD. So this, I call this VB tabs. Here. By default, it's non-hit testable stuff only. I'll make it collapsed. So when I start the game, it's not there, but it's still again not there even if I go to the inventory. Then tab here. So so if I press I, see it's not there. Now if I want to make it appear here, when I want to switch to a widget, here I can check if this widget is equal to in-game HUD. Then we can get the VB tabs with visibility, and we can select visibility using this boolean. If it is in-game tab, we need to make it collapsed. If it is not the in-game tab, we need to make it visible, non-hit test this. Okay, now we have it. And we need to highlight by default whatever the tab we are in. That is also not something I should do. So maybe collapse these two function tabs. So here, if this is true, if this is equal to no, maybe this is not the optimal way. We can get this. To widget index. Then we can just do this. What's the order? First one is menu. No. In-game HUD, inventory. Okay. One for menu, inventory main, and 2, 3, 4 for skill. Those are the only two things that matter. So inventory, tab button in inventory, yeah, and tab button skills. Now here, drag one from these and highlight. Let's call tab button. But this will be selected based on this index. Let's do is valid as well to avoid any errors. One for inventory, 4 for skill tree. Okay. Now let's see. I press I. Didn't work. I just did a print and it always shows 0. Oh, yeah. Someone disconnected this. Okay. Now it might work. Let's see. No. Still no. Oh, I disconnected this while I was testing. No. Let's see now. Ah, it's working. See. Inventory is highlighted. And skills highlighted. Okay. Great. Okay, skill appears. Alright, so that's all I want to do for today. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And see you in the next episode. Goodbye.